back to Bridgeport. Starting five that it has used as of late.
You're mentioning in our open a very winnable game going up against a Swarm squad who only has 2 wins on the season or so. So both teams are looking to get their fitting, continue to build chemistry.
Ferran Hunt takes the tip for Westchester. And it's James Akinjo who will bring it up and run the show for the Knicks. A day after he was the birthday boy, celebrating it at the Garden and with some Mexican food with his teammate Ferran Hunt. Jeffries from deep.
Awesome, James Akinjo, the big 22 years old. I remember them days, David. Just a few years ago.
Williams on the second side could not finish on the setup there from the aforementioned Hagans. I wasn't going to call him out like that at 22, but you went right for it.
I mean, 22 is youthful, a great age.
I would trade for that. Mark Williams, his first year out of Duke, makes the free throw worth 2 on assignment from the Charlotte Hornets.
And Williams, he was drafted number 15th overall in this year's NBA draft. Been on assignment in a few games now and has made an instant impact right away.
Game 7 for Williams as he defends Akinjo and comes away with the steal. The ACC Defensive Player of the Year. On the baseline, the turnaround for JT Thor was off the mark. He joins Williams on assignment from the Hornets. Akinjo trying to work there with Brooks. From the top of the wheel, Garrison Brooks puts Westchester on the board.
And it's good to see Garrison Brooks get one up and going early. He was held to just 4 points in their last game against Long Island, which is a career low for him. Only shot the basketball 6 times, so good to see him hitting that shot.
Thor driving in and pumps it through. JT Thor active early. Greensboro by 2.
Another guy who, like you said, on assignment, but has been super active for Greensboro on the boards, getting after it, averaging 12.1 points per game while he's been on assignment with the Swarm.
Greensboro, they've lost 6 in a row. Started the year 2-1. Now they're 2-7.
Yeah, it's been a rough stretch for these guys, as we see today. A different lineup as LiAngelo Ball gets on the board for himself. He's coming into this game only averaging 1 point per game, but hasn't seen many minutes, but with a few guys out, he's getting a nod.
Trevor Keels knocks down a 3. Didn't shoot great 2 nights ago, but off to a good start here, knocking down his first attempt. Sneed goes right at Jeffries and draws the foul against the vet out of Western Texas.
It's going to be pivotal for Jeffries to have good, solid defense. In the last game, he found himself in some foul trouble, and so coach couldn't utilize him in the way that he wanted to down the stretch, sort of throwing him in and out, though he was able to finish with 18 points. I think Westchester is better when Jeffries gets to stay on the floor.
So Akinjo played the first couple minutes with his jersey untucked. But at this juncture, Stephanie Barksdale calls him for a delay of game. Sneed hits the free throw worth 2. Barksdale out there with Jenna Reynaud and a non-staff NBA official and Julian McFadden to round out our officiating crew. Ferran Hunt underneath, couldn't finish. The league's leading rebounder comes up with one on the offensive end, but couldn't follow. And now Sneed, coming off of a career-best 28 points, sticks a 3 off the dribble. Greensboro expanding the lead to 6.
And 64% of Snead's shots do come from the three-point line, so that has to be on the scout. When he gets the ball from beyond the arc, you want a hard closeout on him. You rather him put the basketball on the ground, as we see right there. But then Daquan Jeffries picks up his second foul, so that's 2 early ones for him. And we're going to see Quentin Rose come to the table and check in for Jeffries.
Quentin Rose into the game for the Knicks, part of a second unit with MJ Walker that has given Westchester a lift. Into Hagans. In and out dribble, and he got fouled. The reach in by Akinjo. Got too much of the body, says Julian McFadden.
And Coach, he's trying to play it safe early, seeing that this could be a close game. Records are pretty close in this one. So going to get James Akinjo out of there as well. So 2 big blows. 2 of your starters are out with not foul trouble for James Akinjo, but more so just being cautious so you can use him down the stretch.
So a whistle to adjust the shot clock. And so Akinjo picking up his second foul. And so Walker and Rose typically come in together. They do so a bit earlier in this game because of the foul trouble. Snead missing there. And Keels will move over to the point guard spot. Setting up Rose, teeing up a 3. It's wide left. Walker tries to keep it in play and does. The original save, but then Walker on the, or Keels rather, on the baseline was out of play.
Credit the guys, good hustles. Good hustle down there on the baseline. Ran into the ref down there. She seems like she's okay though.
LiAngelo Ball, the feed inside to Williams. Going up against Brooks, lays it up and in. That's a former Dookie taking on a former Tar Heel, although Brooks finished his college career at Mississippi State. Brooks turning, lost it, but a whistle. And the foul is called against Thor.
And where Westchester is early in this game not doing a great job of is getting into the paint, and that is an area in which they succeed. Not a great three-point shooting team. They only shoot 30% from out there. But can they get some more dribble drives to the basket earlier on in this game?
Keels in the paint. Has missed his last 2 after an opening make. Williams the rebound, averaging 20 points, 13 boards on the season in 6 previous G League games. Thor weaving, ball, catch, shoot, a 3. That is an air ball. Hit the bottom of the net, was online but short as he tries to work his way back in shape after missing the last game.
And that was also just a really good closeout on Ball. Made him shoot a tough contested 3.
Walker, he'll try his luck from deep. That rolls off the rim. Thor the rebound. And a traveling violation is called.
Thor is saying that he got fouled, and essentially that's what caused him to travel on that play, not liking that call.
JT Thor out, Aaron Wheeler in. The Stamford, Connecticut native. Into the lineup. Brooks holds, flips it to Walker, driving into the paint. Walker up and in, +1 for MJ Walker.
And that was the best possession yet by the Westchester Knicks. You got ball screen action, but Walker did not settle, went straight far in his second year.
It's cliche to talk about the comfort that you feel after experiencing anything for the first time and then entering a similar circumstance the second time around. But specific to playing, can you speak to the level of comfort you get being on a team for the second year?
Certainly. I think, first of all,
Hagans at the cup. Walker the foul.
That's tough. And one by Hagans in his first game. But I think, first of all, MJ's situation is a little different because he has a different coach this year. And sometimes, as we see Hagans right here, again, just lift up and able to get the and one going up against MJ Walker. But he has a different coach. So your mindset has to be continuing to grow with this coach and take the things that I learned from my last coach, which was Derek Olson, into this new group, new environment, a lot of new players on the team. But the comfortability level sort of chips in when you think about, okay, what did I take from my first season? And I go home over the summer and I continue to work on those things. So I think it's just a number of aspects as far as taking what you learned in your first season, bringing it back to your second season, applying it into real game simulations, and continuing to grow as an individual and a person, and accepting your role as he wants to work his way back into a starter, I believe. But right now, coming off the bench and excelling.
Just out of the reach of Ferron Hunt, a rare Knicks turnover. Pushing ahead to Williams. Hagans gets the miss. And back to Williams, who misses a second bunny. Third time's the charm.
And you got to put a body on Williams. He's averaging 13 rebounds per game while he's on assignment, tied with Garrison Brooks for the most rebounds in the league. So he's going after every board. He's trying to get those second chance opportunities for his team. So when you see a ball go up, he's averaging 4.3 offensive rebounds per game. Got to put a body on him.
Anthony DeRuggi just into the game out of Florida, commits the foul against Rose. Quentin Rose makes the free throw worth 2. Midway through the first. Greensboro has led the entire way. Sneed upstairs to Williams on the easy throwdown.
And that comes from not communicating on the screens right there. Trevor Kills and Garrison Brooks switched on that screen, and you saw the whole time on the roll, Mark Williams was creating space for himself, and then he tries to get the rejection on that one. Is called for the personal foul, and that's going to be his second. So coach has to make a decision here. Do you keep marking the game, or do you send him to the bench? You view right here the pick and roll. Trevor Kills is lagging a little bit on it, trying to fight over the screen. They didn't switch, but on the back pedal, Garrison Brooks didn't have a body on Mark Williams, and that's how he was able to fly up and get that.
Ferron Hunt makes the free throw. Westchester a perfect 3 of 3 start from the line. That has allowed them to hang around here in the first quarter. Sneed off the catch, a triple from straight away.
Again, Xavier C, got to know the scout. You can't let him get any breathing room. He's a catch and shooter from outside. He's going to look to knock down threes. On the other hand, Ferron Hunt can't get the answer, but I don't like that play by Westchester because they're one and done again. They didn't get any passes around the perimeter. What has been working for them is attacking.
Hagans, a fake, got Hunt to bite, and Westchester calls timeout. Largest lead of the night for Greensboro here in the first quarter. I'd say similar stats as well. Westchester so good at taking care of the basketball, nearly 3 less turnovers than the Swarm.
And sort of, it just comes back to, for Westchester, they're just not knocking down shots. They take care of the basketball pretty well, have a good feel around the rim when it comes to rebounding the basketball. Now it's going to come to focus on the offensive end when it comes to just putting the ball in the cup consistently.
They've already committed 3 turnovers. Trevor Keels, a hard take to the rim. Greensboro has given it up just once. Good sign for the Knicks out of the timeout. They've climbed to within 11. Wheeler from the corner. Aaron Wheeler knocks it down with some family in attendance right along the sideline. His mother, Michelle, his father, Billy, who played with Mark Jackson at Bishop Loughlin in Brooklyn, Manhattan Jasper Hall of Famer.
That was them with the sign over there.
It was.
Showing love. Okay, I saw you talking to them before the game. Cool to see the family in attendance to support.
Grew up in Stanford, just down I-95 as Sneed throws up top and wanted DeRugi not to be. Wheeler started his high school career at Trinity Catholic in Stanford, then went on to Brewster, Purdue, St. John's, and now Greensboro as a first-year pro.
So he's been all over when it comes to playing basketball and been around it his whole life. As you mentioned, his father has scored over 1,200 points during his time at Manhattan College.
JT Thor re-enters. Greensboro has 9 dressed tonight. They've already played 8. Hagans is playing tonight after being signed earlier today, wearing the number 8 jersey without a name.
I mean, it's tough being in the G League as far as you just always have to stay ready when you are a prospect. When your name is called, got to be ready to come in and execute. Hagan has done that today. You don't necessarily know the plays. Oh.
Hunt was hanging on the rim and thought he was in the playground.
I mean, what an athlete, though, for Hunt to go up there and hang like that. Surprised it wasn't some type of violation. He's like, my bad. I got a little beside myself with that one.
It's one of those things where it's so cool to see that it should be allowed, right?
Right. I mean, at that point, he already went and did it. Nobody was harmed in the making of that one.
Thor fires away and knocks it down. JT Thor out of Auburn in his second year, showing the range.
And Greensboro right now, man, they're lighting it up from deep. They've only missed one so far in this game. Westchester on the hand, they can't buy a basket from beyond the arc. They are 1 for 8. The lone person to hit a 3 in this game is Trevor Keels, but we saw off the mark on that one.
Nooni Omat and Dmitro Skapintsev checking into the game for Westchester. Garrison Brooks along with Ferran Hunt check out. So the starting power forward and center take a seat. Sneed cuts, kicks out Thor. Just made a 3. This time drives in and converts off glass. Greensboro having its way tonight in Bridgeport.
What I'm seeing the difference with Greensboro is when they put their subs in the game and their reserves, they're ready, they're energized, ready to go. On the other hand, for Westchester, haven't seen much carryover, although Omat just checks into this game. You gotta be ready to execute. Skapintsev on this one, just a little late coming over for the help, because if he was there earlier, he would have got all the way outside of that restricted area and cut off JT Thor.
Isaiah Whaley gets called for the foul. Nooni Omat at the free throw line. Back tap Skapintsev on the kick out. Keels, an open look from deep, and it's short.
And Westchester has just been flat. At this point, if you're Greensboro, you can give them that shot. They haven't shown that they can hit the three-point shot in this game so far. But what Westchester can do, take the ball to the basket.
Trevor Keels called for the reach-in. Knicks are over the limit, and so a free throw for Xavier Sneed out of Kansas State. Now parts of 3 seasons playing for Greensboro. This free throw is worth 2.
And yeah, Sneed has had quite the journey. He signed as an affiliate player in his first stint with Charlotte, some time ago. Went to play with the Canadian League and then re-signed with the Swarm back on October 24th, 2021. Had a 10-day contract in December with Memphis, so he's been all over, and you see in this game that he's had the upper hand with experience.
End of shot clock. Omat got it off in time, but right into the hands of Greensboro with under 2 minutes to play. Sneed driving into the body of Rose. Skapintsev picks up the loose ball. Keels running. Walker with him. A 3 is good. Knicks needed that.
Yeah, they needed that 3 badly. Way to have your eyes up if you're Trevor Keels. See your shooter in the corner.
Sneed driving in. Skapintsev, good play defensively. It'll stay with Greensboro. Ashton Hagans will check back in, and Xavier Sneed is enjoying his time.
Game. I didn't think that Mark Williams was actually going to be playing because he didn't participate in that last matchup against the Delaware Bluecoats. So, again, when it comes to G League basketball, you just got to be ready if your name is called.
Omot defending Thor. And now Hagans, the crossover. Kick out to Wheeler, no.
Way to secure the rebound if you're Omot, but I felt as though in that situation, get the ball and try to push down the floor. Of course, you're trying to get the ball into your point guard's hands, which is Trevor Keels, but when you got numbers, you got to get out and run.
Keels elevates, missing off the rim, now 2 of 7 in this first quarter.
Yeah, he's struggling to find his rhythm.
Thor, no good. Tracks down the long rebound. Greensboro just a step quicker to the ball in the first quarter. Keels rips down the rebound with 50 seconds to go. He's played the entire way into Skopinsev, likes the matchup, and the baby hook inside.
Way to get your grounding if you're Demo down there. He established himself, got position. Point guard is able to find him in the paint. More of that if you're Westchester. See if you can find your post players down low.
Hagans and the block. Skopinsev. Is that a authorized nickname?
It is. Aja told me that was his nickname before the game, and we running with it. It's Demo, baby. I like it.
Few less syllables than Skopinsev.
I can say it now, but I asked.
But why? Why would you want to?
Yeah, why would I want to say all that? It's a beautiful name. Don't get me wrong, but
the follow for DeRougy.
And Westchester, yes, like someone is saying right now, I don't know who that was, but they do have to wake up. You're giving up second chance opportunities. You're being lazy around the basket. Every time a shot goes up, you have to be looking to put a body on somebody.
5th offensive rebound for Greensboro. Keels all the way in, gets the friendly bounce.
Trevor Keels really nice off the bounce. Now, got to focus up and get a stop.
Ball, end of quarter, a triple. LeAngelo Ball answers right back for Greensboro. Omot fires away, and it crashes against the backboard. 38-21, the lead for Greensboro. 17-point advantage.
Quicker than Westchester right now. And as the away team, they've come here and have made themselves really comfortable in the Westchester Knicks home arena. Right now, it's going to have to start with stops for Westchester to get back into this one. James Akinjo has checked back in after picking up those 2 early fouls. And then on the offensive end of the floor, just being smart and aggressive.
Hagans throws inside to Mark Williams, who picked up 2 first-quarter fouls along with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Daquan Jeffries back on the floor with 2 fouls. James Akinjo returning with 2 fouls. MJ Walker, Nuni Omot, and Dimitro Skopinsev, the 5 for the Knicks.
I like the move of starting MJ Walker in the second half. Though he gets the turnover on himself right there, he was really productive off the bench in that first half for the squad. He scored 6 points, which is behind Trevor Keels for a team high, and then he also was 2 for 5 from the field. So not perfect, but he made good decisions and brought that productivity for the reserves off the bench.
A little bit different of rotation, at least in the first half, with Akinjo and Jeffries sitting early with the foul trouble. So we could see some different units here in the second quarter. Akinjo to Jeffries. Back to Akinjo. Jeffries leans into a 3. Shot that in rhythm, but too strong.
I would say it's that, David, and Coach Job is probably just trying to figure out who is going to work and what is going to work. At this point, for the team down by 17 points, you got to find your niche with a lineup that's going to do the work to try to get back into this one.
Thor forced that one against good defense. Williams over the top, got the tap in.
And he's done that twice so far in this game. As soon as a shot goes up, his timing is perfect, able to just elevate.
Skopinsev, that rolls off the rim. Greensboro has owned the paint. Thanks to Williams. Hagans stepping into a 3, no. Quick trigger for the newly signed Hagans. Akinjo fires away. He's gotten better since his time at Baylor shooting from deep. His first bucket.
as
the Knicks cut the deficit to 16.
And in the Showcase Cup so far, James Akinjo has been leading the charge with his 19.9 points per game. Doesn't matter, though. Right back at you is LiAngelo Ball with another 3 for himself.
Skopincev, handoff to Jeffries, sets the screen. Daquan too strong. From the corner, no good for Derugi.
Skopincev, he had position right there. They just missed the post player. I would have liked to see them try to get the ball into Skopincev, get some inside-out action, but it doesn't happen on that possession.
What happened to Demo?
I'm going to call him Demo. I was trying to get too cute. A little too fancy. Demo's better.
Hagans was trapped, got it to Williams. He tracks down the loose ball. And now we'll look to work in the post. Skopincev the rebound.
Demo's playing some good defense down there. I've liked his minutes off the bench in place of Garrison Brooks so far. Not getting it done on the offensive end, so to speak. They don't need him to do that, though. But his defense has been very good.
Trying to work there with Akinjo in the pick and roll. Knicks turn it over, their 7th. Williams, the pivot on the block, and the score.
In that situation, though, although Demo's supposed to hold it down on defense, Omot should have had his back on the backside help. Maybe could have came over and had a little trap in. He gets called for the offensive foul on the spin. So you give up a bucket on one end of the floor, then get called for the foul on the opposite end.
Skopincev going right at Williams. Could have been Williams' 3rd foul. Instead, it's the 8th Knicks turnover.
I like the take. I like the spin move. I didn't see much contact right there for the foul to be called, but, you know, that's why I'm over here, not out there reffing.
Stays with Greensboro. Starters back out there for the Swarm. Sneed, Thor, Williams, Ball, and Hagans. Knicks have Jeffries, Hunt, Brooks, Akinjo, and Omot. 4 minutes gone by, second quarter. Thor working against Omot, leans in and scores. Quick first step to the cup.
Yeah, what Westchester is doing on the ball screen is they're sending 2 and they're jumping out. That time it was Akinjo and Garrison Brooks, but the rotation has to be there when the screen is over with. So someone has to have Omot's back. In that case would have been Garrison Brooks.
Sneed spinning, slipping. Somehow it ends up with Williams, 10 on the timer. Williams gets it back.
That was good defense that time on the rotation where 2 came over on Mark Williams, and on the backside they were able to come up with the steal and the 3-point shot by Omot in the corner.
Offensive rebound, Brooks got it, extra pass, Omot slamming it home.
I think he almost put it on his own teammate's head right there. Ferran Hunt was trying to block the basket.
You got to give the points back, right?
Nah, they need all the points they can get right now.
Sneed lost the handle. Knicks looking to run. Ahead to Omot for another field goal at the rim. Nooney Omot leading the break for the Knicks. Is this the start of a comeback?
On the season, if he can get that 3 ball down, I can definitely see him continuing to get more minutes in this rotation, but so far so good in this second quarter for him.
Out of the timeout, Greensboro gets it to Thor. On assignment from Charlotte, matched up against Ferran Hunt, a fellow NBA player. Akinjo into the front court. finds Jeffries. Loves that rip-through move, but defended well. Elevates over Sneed. Greensboro clears the rebound.
And that's just a tough shot by Daquan Jeffries. Usually very good when he can face up and turn to the basketball. That time around, they just make him take a tough one, and he has to get going in this game so far. Daquan Jeffries hasn't scored.
Knicks trying to take advantage of numbers. They could not, as Omad gets called for the loose ball foul, going after the missed three from Akinjo. Aaron Wheeler will check in. He returns to the lineup. Midway through the second quarter. Inside to Whaley, and one.
Westchester is a step behind. Each time down, Greensboro is putting them in ball screen action. If you're not going to defend the ball screen well, to go here, Garrison Brooks can't rotate back, and Trevor Keels is late on that rotation. That's where they're killing them at every time. So far in this game, the Swarm have 26 points in the paint. You have to credit them for really making Westchester work off of the screening action when they get down on the offensive end.
Whaley returns to the state in which he played his college ball. At Stores playing for UConn. Offensive rebound, ball of three. That misses wildly. James Akinjo will bring it up. A rookie point guard who has orchestrated this Knicks offense and has done a great job of taking care of the ball. That time draws the foul. And we'll head to the line to shoot one worth two. Whaley commits the personal.
And Whaley, I think he fell on sort of that end line of the court where the court and the, what do you want to call it, off the court kind of meet and they separate. So looks like his ankle got caught up on that last play.
This court, of course, raised off of the ground. So there are panels that cover the ice underneath where the Bridgeport Islanders play.
And yeah, he's limping off, so we already spoke about it. Greensboro can't really afford to lose another member. Only 9 dressed out in this game, and Whaley limping his way off.
And so there is a not so steep, but sudden drop-off from the edge of the panel of the floor down to the surface. And just the way that he was against that edge makes you think he lost his footing there.
Yeah. That drop, if your foot gets tied up on the ends of the court to where the elevation of the court is no longer raised, yeah, you can definitely twist the ankle that way.
Greensboro already shorthanded, and they might be another man down. Brooks.
Ooh.
There was a whistle. Was it a travel or was it a foul?
Find out. Okay.
So a travel before the foul, and we'll look at it again.
1, 2, okay. He puts 2 feet down after initially catching the basketball, so I agree with the call right there. Took a big hop step, then another.
And not something that you can challenge even if you want to, since the call on the floor was a travel. Can't challenge violations. Thor in the corner.
I mean, that's all day for Greensboro. If you're not going to cut off the baseline and you're going to allow shooters to catch and shoot in the corner, then Greensboro is doing their job as far as that goes. Right now, 6 for 12 from deep. They're shooting 50% from outside, and Westchester hasn't really challenged them from the three-point line.
Thor the rebound. I thought Marvel Superhero Day was on Saturday.
He's a day late, but it's cool. He's bringing the superhero expertise to Westchester as Thor knocks down back-to-back triples.
He's up to 15 points on the back of 3 triples, and the lead is 25 in the first half.
Certainly, he's having himself an outing right now as Thor comes up with that rebound. He was picked number 37 overall in the second round of the 2021 NBA draft by the Detroit Pistons, and he was traded to Charlotte with Mason Plumlee for the 57th overall pick. And right now, he's getting it in, getting up and down.
Norrence Odiase gets called for the foul. He's the 9th and most recent player for Greensboro to check in. That's all they've got tonight as we monitor the injury to Whaley. Akinjo bodied up there by Hagans. Jeffries whips it, Rose. Bodied up by Wheeler, and the Knicks turn it over for the 11th time. Hagans off and running, lost his footing as he was tripped. Akinjo just commits his 3rd foul.
And I mean, Akinjo, another big blow with his 3rd foul of this game. Can't really get going in this one if he's in foul trouble, and that was a story for him 2 games ago and now again. So, especially for Akinjo, if Westchester wants to succeed, he has to stay out there on the floor.
Wheeler spinning and scoring, making mom and dad proud, sitting on the sideline in the first row.
You gotta love that when your parents get to come out and support you, and you're playing well and doing so. Got the big win. I see mom cheesing over there.
Foul is against Anthony DeRugi. Knicks down 27, largest deficit of the night. 3:30 to play in the first half. If it's something we know about the G League, it's that no lead is safe, but the comeback needs to start here.
It has to start right now. Oh, and that one just nearly goes in for Faron Hunt. A good catch and shoot, but it's like it's a lid on the basket for Westchester, especially from deep.
Odiase on the catch. He stumbled. DeRugi, corner, Wheeler, now Sneed. He wants to drive against Hunt, throws up a wild shot. Hunt is called for the personal. Doesn't agree with it, but it sticks. And that brings us to another timeout. Green with Charlotte this year. And joining fellow NBA assignee Mark Williams in the lineup for Greensboro, and those two have combined for 27. Nearly matching the output of Westchester.
You can just see the difference it makes when you have players on assignment. Last season, we sort of had the luxury of seeing that when Deuce McBride would come down and play, Jericho Sims. Those guys were just excellent when they were on assignment for the Westchester Knicks, and it totally makes a difference in the level of play and in the game as a whole.
Jeffries left it short. 2:25 to go, first half.
And Westchester going small right now.
DeRugi spinning, no. Got his own miss. That one off the rim. Jeffries the board. Trevor Keels, short. Odiase the rebound. Sneed quickly the other way. He'll pull up from deep. Hope your shoelaces are tied.
The track meet has started.
Faron Hunt to the rim, no. A pickup game is broken out as the Knicks went small with their lineup, putting Hunt at the 5 instead of Brooks or Demo. Hagans into the paint. Odiase lays it in.
Good rotation at the top ladder part of that defense, but the backside help has just been a little questionable for Westchester in this game so far.
Odiase becomes the 9th different player for Greensboro to score. They've gotten contributions from all of their players. 8 of the 9 for the Knicks have tallied a bucket.
A tough night right now for the three-point line, but That's what Westchester is going to live by. They're living by the 3 and they're dying by the 3. They're 3 for 21 from out there so far on the season. They shoot 30% from outside, and it's not their strong suit. Excuse me. They're second to last in the G League when it comes to shooting that 3 ball. I don't know if that's going to be an adjustment that they're going to look to make in the second half, or if they're going to continue to just hoist up 3s.
Under a minute to go. Hunt. Walker. That's off the rim. We spoke with MJ prior to the game. That interview to play during halftime. Keels stripped on the way up, and he is fouled by Ashton Hagans. Trevor Keels at the free throw line. 1 for 2. And it's that type of night for the Knicks. Although Rose gets the offensive rebound and saves it to Walker. Rose in the paint. Off the rim. No good.
I think obviously every once in a while every team is going to have a tough night, but it's really hard to watch and just fathom that you're having a tough night against a squad that you can play with. Essentially on paper you can beat. And give Greensboro Swarm some credit. They come in here with nearly identical records, and they're not letting them phase that one bit.
Shot clock is off. 7 seconds to go. Hold was called against Hagans, a former SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Hagans was so good in college at jumping out in the passing lanes, getting steals.
Former teammate of Quickly of the Knicks.
Yeah, they had a squad back in the day at Kentucky when he was there, and Brian Hunt tries to come up with a steal, can't get it.
Sneed with a second to go, off in time. The follow there for Williams isn't good. Greensboro doubling up Westchester.
Down to their shot-making abilities, it trickled down to their defense. When you don't play hard and other teams come out here with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, it showed in that first half. So as a coach, no, it's not going to be rainbows and butterflies and I'm being all nice to you. It's get it together and let's turn this page and let's go.
Knicks averaged 16.7 turnovers a contest. As mentioned, they gave it up 12 times in that first half as they trail by 29 to begin the second half in Bridgeport with Ty Carter, David Resnick. And that was a traveling violation by Mark Williams after a first half in which he had 14 points and 6 boards. Both teams rolling out their starters to begin the second half.
And it's good to see James Akinjo back on the floor. Didn't get many minutes in that first half, only was able to play 11 because he picked up 3 personal fouls.
Daquan Jeffries has a 3 that lips out. Xavier Sneed the rebound. JT Thor had 15 to lead all scorers. The rebound down to Ferran Hunt. Loose ball. It is off of Ashton Hagans. Westchester ball. Never mind. Okay. Stephanie Barksdale was saying it was off of White originally and now changes the signal and the direction of where the ball should be. It was her initial call, but just articulated it incorrectly. Hagans inside. Williams just watched the flight of the ball and timed his jump to put it up and in.
If you're Garrison Brooks, I don't think he should be helping on anything at all. At the basket, Mark Williams is so big. As we see, he goes up and he contests that shot. He can just go up there. He's 7 foot tall. All they have to do is lob it over top and tip it in for him. And down on the other end of the floor, Greensboro able to run and get it to J.C. Thor for an easy bucket. Didn't even have to work for it.
A difference of 33. Jeffries got that one to drop.
And that's Daquan Jeffrey's first field goal of this game. He was able to get a 2-for-1 at the free throw line, but other than that, he hasn't been able to get himself going. So maybe a take like that to the basket for the veteran.
Inside Williams, no. Keels, pull up, got it.
Good patience by Trevor Keels on that play. First got the basketball and scanned the floor. Came off on the screen tight, saw a little opening, and he loves that little pull-up jumper around the free throw line extended area.
Hagans.
Good. Better job by Garrison Brooks to help on the roll that time. But again, if Garrison Brooks steps up and has your back in, Mark Williams get a check for hanging on the rim right there. If Garrison Brooks is going to step up and have his teammates' backs, as we see right here, he just leaves Mark Williams alone. James Akinjo has to do the backside rotation and get over top of Mark Williams before that pass can even get into him.
Technical free throw, James Akinjo. Good for a point. Westchester ball on the other end of the floor.
You asked me, a good time to make a run right here. You get the free throw and a basketball back. You can potentially have up to a 5-point swing if they can knock down a three. I'm opting for them to continue to drive to the cup, though.
Brooks at the elbow knocks it in.
A sweet-looking shot for Garrison Brooks right there. Mark Williams doesn't step up to contest that jump shot.
LiAngelo Ball with 8 first-half points, entered with just 7 scored all season, and adding 3 more on a tough fadeaway 3. Akinjo sets his feet. It's a 3. James Akinjo knocks it in, answers the ball 3 with a triple of his own.
And Hagan got caught up on that screen that was set by Brooks. His wide body was able to take Hagans all the way out. Good answer by James Akinjo. Now can Westchester continue to go up forward? Nobody stops the basketball. Akinjo tries to get the 3 to go up again, can't finish.
Hunt nearly got the rebound, sandwiched between 2. Williams spins patiently underneath as Jeffries flies by.
I mean, Williams, he's just doing everything. Has great hands around the basket. At 7 foot tall, can run the floor. Now up to 20 points. Doing everything that he can for the Swarm.
Jeffries drew the foul.
Good take to the basket by Daquan Jeffries right there. Not to settle, but use his willpower and his force to try to take it straight to the body of JT Thor. Downhill with the left hand. Once he grabs it into the air, he switches hands on the way up, and that's how JT Thor is called for that foul call up top.
Garrison Brooks checking out.
It seemed like something was wrong with Garrison Brooks' wrist right there. The possession before this, he was actually signaling for someone to come in for him, so hope he's okay. He's actually leaning down there with the trainer getting his wrist looked at right now.
MJ Walker checking in. Ferran Hunt playing the 5, and it's the matchup with Williams. JT Thor out there as well, so the Knicks a bit undersized as Walker tries to defend the drive up top. Second foul against Walker.
And the right call by the refs. You can't put 2 hands straight up on the ball handler. Rules are made to protect the ball handlers in today's game, so got to play straight up defense.
Hagans with 10 assists in the first half, 2 more since the break. Ball missing there. Hunt can't control, but Keels does. Trevor Keels with ball trailing. Hunt to the paint. Denied by Thor, and the ball came down and off of Hunt's leg out of bounds.
Good aggressive take to the basket by Faron Hunt. We've seen him do that numerous times over the season where he's able to get ahead of Steen and go down low. I personally think that Thor came across with that right hand and smacked Faron on the arm, but refs left it as a no call. And on the other hand, LiAngelo tries to go up for the finish, can't get it, but Mark Williams with the second chance opportunity, up to 22 points. He's absolutely dominating in this one.
Hunt inside, goes right at Williams, who doesn't even need to jump for that rejection.
I mean, it's just so effortless for him. Mark Williams and Trevor Keels played together at Duke a season ago. They have that connection there.
So Hunt got his shot blocked a couple of times, and on the other end
in the G League standings. So Mark Williams is proving that he can play with these guys, and I'm sure when he goes back up to Charlotte, hopefully they can find some minutes for him because he has had stellar outings while being on assignment.
JT Thor makes a free throw worth 2. Williams 2 rebounds shy of his 6th double-double in 7 games. Greensboro comes away with the steal. Thor takes it himself, and everything going right as that softly bounced off the iron.
I mean, and that's just an easy acrobatic finish for JT Thor, but finally, Daquan Jeffries gets one to go down from the three-point line. Just the 5th make from beyond the arc for Westchester tonight.
Williams tries to overpower Omat. Akinjo. And now Jeffries in and out. It was halfway down.
I mean, that's a tough one. I like the shot by Daquan in transition. He was able to get one to go a possession before that. Why not get the little heat check right there? And Greensboro has missed their last 2 attempts. Westchester has to try to capitalize on this possession.
Omat tees it up for 3. Nooney Omat knocks it down. A difference of 28. Greensboro short-handed, playing with a new point guard. They've already experienced some injuries in this one. Not over quite yet, not in this league, although you have to defend Xavier Sneed, a 3.
I mean, yeah, he's such a great three-point shooter right now. Said it earlier in the broadcast, but 64% of his points this season have come from the three-point line. He loves to shoot the basketball from out there. He can catch and shoot, create his own shot, and he's proven so tonight.
First game of a back-to-back. Greensboro will play here tomorrow night against the Knicks. Thrown up to Williams, a blown assignment underneath, and Mark's got 2 more on 11 of 17 shooting.
And he's just making it look so easy, and all his teammates have to do, right? 7 foot, throw it up there. He's going to go and get it and tap it in, lay it in, whatever. He's halfway to the rim already in height.
Omat lips out. Knicks playing without a traditional 5. Omat's playing there, and they're just looking to Williams underneath.
And Omat, he's playing hard down there, though. He's not letting Mark just catch the ball easily, trying to fight for position, but just too easy as Greensboro is having their way, putting the basketball on the ground and driving to the cup.
Thor's length has been a problem. He made a couple of early threes, and Knicks have to respect that. But he's such a great slasher also.
With Thor, when he catches the basketball on the wing, if you give him space in the gaps, all he needs is one dribble to get to the cup. But it doesn't really matter when he's knocking down threes like that as well. He's just having himself a night. Thor up to 26 points.
Timeout Knicks.
I think the Knicks just overall look defeated. They let that first half really carry over. Right now, yes, they're only down by 7 essentially in the third quarter, but they don't look like they're having fun when they're scoring buckets. It's not like a let's go, let's get back into this one like we've seen in other games where they played come behind. It's just kind of like, okay, cool, we scored. So I would like to see a little bit more energy, a little bit more want to out of this squad and togetherness, and maybe they can, spark that comeback. We talked about it before. in the G League, if you can go on a run and if you can get something going, you can cut into a lead like that. You blink and it could be a change in pace. But for the Knicks, I think it has to start with just finding some passion and some want-to for real.
7 straight for Greensboro. Offensive rebound for Odiasi. Thor cutting. Akinjo went down. Thor stays with it, rolls off the rim. Odiasi brought it down and knocked out of his hand.
See, a play like that, to me, that's just effort. Thor is able to get his hands on the rebound while there's 2 other people underneath the basket. That's an effort play, but not once did Westchester actually turn and box out and put a body on him and try to push him back out. And if you start turning things around and doing the little plays like that, it's the effort plays for me, and I don't think I've seen enough of that from Westchester in this one.
Shot clock reset to 14. Into Thor. Driving against Rose.
Good help by Omot.
Wheeler with a hand in his face. Good closeout by Hunt.
Good defensive rotation on that possession by the Westchester Knicks. Everybody was moving on the flight of the ball and nearly answers for Omot again. Just can't get it to go down with the 3, and one and done. And in a game like this, where you're down by a sizable amount, I still think Westchester has to continue to work on the little things. You do have to go up against this same squad tomorrow, so use this as that punch to say, okay, we might not come back and win this particular game, but we have to leave them with a sour feeling that tomorrow we might come out and get them.
Omot rolls that one in. 11 points off the bench. Thor without hesitation, and maybe he should have thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, right, he's doing everything. 10 for 20 from the field. He's 4 for 8 from deep, has 26 points. It was almost about time that Thor had an aired play.
It's a little drafty in here tonight.
It is. It's cold. Over top of this ice.
Yeah, before you said hello, it was chilly in here tonight.
No, certainly. You get used to it, though, you would think, right? After a while.
You know, the great Bob Husler, who calls games for the Fairfield Stags, who called the Total Mortgage Arena home for a long time before moving back on campus, said you might want to bring winter boots with you to call the game, and I couldn't quite understand why he told me that.
Oh, you know now.
Until we settled in here to Bridgeport last year.
Yeah, that's honestly the only thing that's really freezing right now. My feet are like, they're done. They're numb.
That's what happens when you're resting them along the ice.
I know. I'm trying to be stylish and profiling with my Balenciaga sliders. These ain't the ones for here. I need a thicker shoe. I think I'm going to wear my Uggs next game.
I mean, you're the Walt Clyde Frazier in this tandem, so I'm expecting some outstanding
for you
prints.
to compare me to Walt, that is a compliment.
Well, I mean, he's the color analyst for the Big Knicks. You're the color analyst for the Baby Knicks. And as Hagans puts it in.
But he got all types of suits. He brings it.
From the foul line, Brooks likes that spot. Baby Knicks, of course, a term of endearment. The G League Knicks, the affiliate of New York. At the rim, it is Wheeler. Count it and one. Aaron Wheeler, the Stanford native, playing back in his home state.
In the rip through, Ferron Hunt, he tried to come up with the steal, overran Wheeler on the backside, helped Garrison Brooks just a little too late, and he's able to convert.
Played for Trinity Catholic to start his high school career, that legendary FCAC program. Another pro that's been produced by the Crusaders.
And then played 4 seasons at Purdue before transferring to St. John's. And in that 2021-22 season, that Aaron Wheeler suited up for the Red Storm. He was averaging 10 points per game, but shot an impressive 48% from the field.
Keels at the free throw line. Final minute of play in the third.
An area that Westchester should go away from this game and at least look at it and be happy about so far. They've been excellent from the free throw line, and that's been an area of struggle for them throughout this season. So far, 7 for 9 from the stripe.
Hagans banks it home. Ashton Hagans, former college teammate of Emmanuel Quickly, now in his second different team of the season in the G League, 4th overall. 9 points, 15 assists. Starting point guard after being signed earlier today.
And he's played some good basketball, 15 assists in this one. So first of all, you credit him for his assist and playmaking ability, but then his teammates for knocking down shots when he distributes the basketball.
Ferron Hunt running out of time after scooping up the loose ball. In the third quarter, Greens.
And on that combination for 50, how about the rebounding war, too, that Mark Williams and J.T. Thor have been doing an excellent job of cleaning up for in this game as well. And of those 10 rebounds that Mark Williams is able to corral in, 3 of those being offensive. So just doing a good job of getting second possessions and opportunities for Greensboro.
11 points for Keels as a starter, 11 for Nooney Omot off the bench. Ashton Hagans looking for assist, 16. Anthony DeRugi helps him get to that mark.
It's really safe to say that it's just Greensboro's night. Everything has been going for them. What the answer, though, is Quentin Rose coming off the bench. Coach Clappin just continuing to throw different people in the lineup and find an answer as Trey Holder is getting his first minutes in this game as well.
DeRugi traveled. Hagans 9, 7, and 16. See if there's a point and 3 rebounds out there for him tonight.
That would be super impressive. I think the way that he's playing right now, it is from the jump. Hagans is coming to this game leading the charge for Greensboro, starting at that point guard position, distributing the rock, and then also able to hit the boards with command and grab those 7 boards as well.
You know, we talk about next man up all the time. Hunt going to the line, the foul against DeRugi, and you have somebody in Hagans who played 1 game for Fort Wayne earlier this season, who got signed because one of their guards went on the injured list. And here, joining a team that's been dealing with injuries as well, to the point where an extra roster spot opens. There's Hagans from the foul line. And we talk about bench players stepping up into bigger roles. 2 more points in the paint for Greensboro, nearly matching the total output of the Knicks. But sometimes it's not just from reserve to starter. It could be from out of the league to a team and trying to stick based off of a performance that way.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not an easy thing to do for him to come in here today. First of all, be focused. I don't even know where he's flying in from. Originally went to high school in Covington, Georgia, so was he in Georgia? I'm not quite sure as far as where he came in from today, but being focused and knowing that you're coming out and you're literally fighting for a spot. You're fighting for your life to try to stay in. Signed to a injury/hardship contract during this time, but with a performance like this against Westchester Knicks, can Hagans stick around? I think so. He's proven that he can run a team, and a shorthanded team at that.
Another look there at Skapintsev's dunk. I think at the very least he'll be around for tomorrow.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, I personally think, like, yes, he'll be around for tomorrow's game. If Greensboro still has some people down going forward, I think Hagans is a good addition to their squad, pending to see how he continues on tomorrow. But tonight has been a really good outing for him.
The denial stays with Westchester.
And I just love how hard Greensboro is still playing in this game. Obviously, it's a lot of time left. Ferran is trying to find his way to the basket, but Aaron Wheeler with the rejection, and then as he's heading out of bounds, tries to knock it off of Ferran to keep the ball alive for Greensboro. Couldn't get it, but the hustle and the effort is still there.
Into Hunt, 9:10 remaining. Goaltending against Williams.
He knew it. Look at his face. He's like, ah, yeah, got one. Guy like that, 7 foot, he's trying to go after everything. And around the perimeter for Ron Hunt and Mark Williams, good timing on there, but that one was caught up on the cylinder, did have a chance of going in, so that's why they call that goaltending.
Thor no, Williams after it. Mixed ball.
And then if you're Demo, who for Westchester doesn't get a ton of minutes every game, this is a really good opportunity for him to go up against an NBA caliber guy like Mark Williams here on assignment and get those reps in, one, defending him, and then two, showing that you can score in a situation like this. Try to get around him, get those extra boards. Couldn't get the O board that time down, but a good matchup for him to get some practice in nonetheless.
Thor all the way in. J.T. Thor with a thump.
And Demo, he shouldn't have jumped on that one. Stay on your feet, young fella.
Hunt, Euro step, no. First appearance for Thor in the G League this season. Hagans went for it all. And Hunt, the rejection on the track down.
And that was a real tough block by Ferran Hunt. We've seen him do that quite a few times this season. You think you got it. First of all, the dunk again by Demo, and then on the other end of the floor. Oh, no, we showing the dunk again and again. I mean, that's a tough play right there, able to rise up over top of Demo, showing off his athleticism. And again, Thor has the basketball. He's trying to continue to operate. Can he answer? He does.
Thor's got two more, up to 30. Just letting it flow in 28 minutes.
And Thor, he's taken 23 shots in this game. Most impressively, though, again, is that 3-ball shooting where he's 4 for 8.
Omad just grazing the rim. Out of bounds to Greensboro. Ball with 3 more.
I mean, that was just such a pure jump shot off the rise by Jello, where shot it so quickly, almost looked like the air ball, but nah, it was just nothing but net.
Trey Holder checking into the game, seeing his first action, and there his first points.
And Trey Holder, he came along to the Westchester Knicks in the second half of the season, and he returns this year as a returning rights player. And trying to get some action here. This season, he's appeared in 5 games.
Delay of game against Greensboro. Holder got caught in the air, and now Omot with 6:35 to go.
You got to roll hard if you're Demo. Good floater action by Nooney.
Floater is true.
Especially when Mark Williams is meeting you there at the basket, and you know he wants to block everything. Good decision-making by Nooney when he got downhill and into the lane.
JT Thor has made quite an impression in his G League debut.
In a number of ways as well, just ripping through, coming down the lane, and jumping over top of Zemo for the slam.
That was a lefty hammer, and somehow just that lefty dunk just looks so nice. Not so nice in a white jersey, but
no. But nonetheless, a highlight play. Pretty sure G League got that dunk up somewhere, probably on Twitter and all that stuff.
LiAngelo Ball with 3 more, a breakout performance for him. We mentioned he had just 7 points entering the season through 9 Greensboro games, and he's got 19 this evening.
Yeah, he's been able to come along for the shorthanded Greensboro squad, just stepping up and taking care of his minutes. And this is LiAngelo Ball's 2nd season with the Greensboro Swarm. Last year, he played in 8 games and averaged 9.1 points per game during that time. And Jello first got his eyes on him by Charlotte when he was invited to a workout by his brother, who plays for the Charlotte Hornets. Everybody knows him as Melo. And by then, he got a workout with the team, and from there, he's been able to stick around with the ball club.
LaMelo plays for Charlotte. Lonzo with Chicago.
Yep.
Omad saves it at midcourt.
And I don't know if you ever seen it or not, David, but on Facebook, LiAngelo, Lonzo, and LaMelo, and also with their dad, LeVar, they had a show called Ball in the Family, and funny family, good show. Had a lot of good stuff on there, really showed their personalities and characters, so good group of brothers.
MJ Walker got fouled. Ashton Hagans coming into the game for Greensboro. He enters with 19 assists on the night. That ties Chris Chiozza for the single game high in the G League this year.
And I'm pretty sure as he checks back in the game, Hagan can take that top spot for most assists in a single game. I'm pretty sure he'll get another dime in this one.
Walker makes the free throw, worth 2. Is that a prediction or a spoiler?
I'm going to say it's a spoiler. He's going to get another one.
Ball too strong.
He messed it up. He was supposed to score right there.
Omot into the front court. This is Trey Holder. 4:40 to go. Omot lets it rip off the mark. A rebound for Odiasi. Xavier Snee driving to the cup with little resistance from the Westchester D.
Yeah, that was just too easy for Xavier Snee. When he came across the timeline, he had his eyes set on the rim the entire way. Goes from the right side of the court, able to make his way to the left to finish.
Sneed is within sneezing distance of a triple-double. Same could be said for Hagans.
So Hagans sees up to 13 points, like we said, 19 assists and 8 rebounds. And I mean, there's a lot of time left. If he stays in the game, he could potentially get those 2 rebounds. And then as for Sneed, 11 points, 7 assists, 7 boards.
Omot fouled. Leader for the Knicks is Nooney Omot with 13 points. Keels matching him.
My stats was a little off. Sneed actually has 13 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. So even closer to eclipsing that triple-double.
Omot shooting a free throw worth 2. These teams will square off tomorrow night, less than 24 hours away. If you are Westchester, what are you hoping for over the final 4 minutes and 7 seconds?
I just want to see some energy from Westchester and them turning the page on the defensive end of the floor. They've had some trouble defending screens this whole entire night. And then with 4 minutes left in this game, they haven't done much of it in this entire game, but can they turn the page and start communicating as a team? They'll need some of that tomorrow, especially defending these actions that Greensboro has run coming down the floor. So I would like to see that, maybe some shot making They're only 7 for 37 from downtown. That's been a struggle for Westchester all night long. They've hung tough in the fourth quarter at least, where Greensboro has outscored them 24-17, but this has been their closest quarter yet as far as scoring goes. So we'll see if there's some positives that they can take away from this fourth quarter.
Holder crossing over and draws the whistle.
But if anything, if you're Westchester at this point, you know the game is lost. There's no going back from that one, but they're going to have short-term memory as they have to face this same team in 24 hours. Well, less than 24 hours at this point. And you've seen it in the G League, where you'll play against one team on one night and maybe they'll come out and they'll sort of smack you up, punch you in the face like Greensboro is doing to Westchester right now. And then in that second game of a back-to-back, they'll come out and it'll be a different story. So we'll hope that that's what is in the future for Westchester. And right here, wow, just nearly elevates over top of Debo. And Derugi able to pick up the foul.
Free throw is no good, bouncing off the rim twice. Holder out of Skapintsev's reach, but it's still Westchester ball.
Westchester's been able to get everyone who is dressed out onto the floor into this game, and though they're losing, this is a good time for those who don't get tons of minutes to show what they have. Bench players, can they get some points on the score, prove to coach that maybe they can get some more minutes going down the stretch and into this showcase season.
Walker a three, that rattled down. Let's see if he could build some momentum for tomorrow night, now into double figures with 11.
Good looking shot by MJ Walker in an area that he continues to improve in.
LiAngelo Ball now just one shy of matching his career high. Has 21 on the night.
And he's been able to have his way, just picking his spots, getting to it. Hagans is able to corral in.
They know.
Yet another rebound. So Ashton Hagans, 15 points, 19 assists, 9 rebounds. So now he's one shy of getting that triple-double.
Hagans set it up in the corner, and players, talk about, I didn't know my totals, I wasn't sure. These guys know that Hagans is a rebound shy and now collects it. It's a 15-point, 10 rebounds, 20 assists, triple-double.
And that's all right. Way to go by Hagans. We already talked about it. Coming here, you don't know your situation, just know that I got to suit up tonight and play for Greensboro. And
comes back, then back-to-back with the go-go before finishing up this stretch at Delaware. 16 games played before all 30 teams head to Las Vegas for the G League Showcase.
And it's going to be a long one, a tough stretch for Westchester, where they're not going to get many off days. It's going to come down to who can execute, who's going to go out here and play with toughness. And Trey Holder, he's able to answer again, and he's got limited minutes this year, but able to get an opportunity in this game.
5 games in 8 days.
That's a lot.
Not a lot of practice time, a lot of game action.
Yeah, and you just got to be ready. But as a hooper, that's what you want to do. You want to play, you want to hoop. It's not going to be a lot of time on your body to recover. So guys got to make sure when they're at home, they're doing the right things, eating the right foods, getting fluids into them, knowing that this stretch is going to be long. But if you're Westchester, now you're dropping your 3rd straight game at home, and this is where they really need to get these wins in. When you're at home in front of your own crowd, you're not on the road. So tomorrow, maybe that can be the start.
Greensboro in the middle of a 4-game road swing. They played their first 7 games at home. This will be their 3rd game away from Greensboro and first road victory.
Yeah, they battled with the Delaware Bluecoats last time out where they fell short, but they had a couple guys with some prolific performances, one of them being Jalen Crutcher, who's not out there today. As we mentioned that they have a short roster. Jello able to sneak in and get another 2.
Career high 23. Inside to Omar. Kick out Walker with a minute to go. Knocks down the triple.
That catch and shoot has looked very pretty by MJ Walker this year. I felt like last year he was short on his extension with his three-point shooting in particular. Like he was almost short-arming it this year. Showing his form, putting his hand in the cookie jar. And another guy who's doing that is LiAngelo Ball. Just lighting it up. Everybody getting in on the action for the Greensboro Swarm as LiAngelo has a career high 26.
Hagans with 2 more assists. He's up to 22. A career night for Ball with 26 points.
And Hagan, I'm super impressed. You come in here again on your first game and you overtake a record by Chris Chiozza, who had previously dished out 19 assists, which was the record for the G League. And now Austin Hagans holding down that spot.
Just for this season, but he's up to 22. And we'll have some work to do to dig through to see the single game all-time record in the G League.
I know they did not just play like that. So Hagan, he didn't want to get the turnover over his hand, so he tossed the ball back to Wheeler real fast, like, nah, you take this turnover. It's all you, my guy. I got to keep my stat line looking as flawless as possible.
130-87. Knicks won't attempt a shot. Greensboro capitulates. They back off there on that possession, but it's a homecoming for Aaron Wheeler. His mother calling him a boogie.